This is a demonstration of the CLI Android thin client. Very small device, but very powerful. In this mode, for the user is presented with his desktop, we call the Apps UI mode. And in this mode, we've chosen to display for the user the RDP and Chrome. And if you click on Settings, for the user, what he can see is only system information, basic information about the device and firmware version, as well as the apps that are installed. He can also change the resolution on the display, and that's all that the user can do. When we go into the management mode, we're presented with authentication. We'll log in with the default password, which is admin with a capital A. Now, in management mode, many more settings are presented for the local device. System information, personalization for the display, cloud service, and in this case in zero client mode, we have RDP, and you just put in your address and fill out the rest of the settings for the RDP session. For the network adapter shows the MAC address, and you can also set it to static or DHCP. And you set the language here, date and time. You can set a strong password for the administrator. Power control, which is basically turn off the monitor after so many minutes, or schedule it to shut down at a certain time of day. And you can also have it auto power on if the device loses power and the power comes back. And there are some network tools, a ping utility as well. And in the apps client mode, I'll show you here the default desktop, we can actually choose which app is displayed for the user. So we have already pre-downloaded some apps, and we'll go ahead and set those. And for remote assistance, you can enable that so someone else could basically remote into the device and take control of the device remotely. So I'm going to click OK, and you'll immediately see the change. We have RDP now in Firefox instead of Chrome, and then the ES file browser, which the file browser allows us to go ahead and load more apps onto the device, as well as various settings of the computer itself. Go back to the settings screen, go back into management mode. And we're going to go ahead and put on settings, take off the RDP. So now all we have is Firefox and settings. We'll go ahead and launch the local device settings, get information about the device, such as the model number, the firmware version, the kernel, the build, the vendor, as well as system information about the device. Security, these are all familiar Android security sections. Now, as far as unknown sources, the reason that's checked on is so that you can install apps to the device. If you check that off, then if you check this off, you will not be able to install apps on the device. And you can see here all of the applications that we have loaded on the device. These are the ones that we've downloaded and installed manually. And sound, Ethernet, and right mouse click closes the application. Now we're going to show you the zero client mode. A unique feature of the CLI Android device is that the user can be presented with a zero client mode. So what we call the VDI client mode. We'll go ahead and click OK. We have the RDP session pre-filled out. So it's already going to try to connect to RDP desktop that we have pre-configured. And every time this boots up, the user would just be presented with his sign-on screen. So we'll go ahead and close the log off here, terminal server session, RDP session. There's several different RDP and apps out there for RDP. Microsoft also has one. And this is what the user gets presented with upon boot for the VDI mode. So all they're presented with is their login screen. And again, if they go ahead and click on the settings, there's really nothing here for the user to change. So that's a quick demonstration of the CLI DT 2200 Android thin client.